Hey guys, just wanted to make a really quick video here. I had a special request. Somebody asked me to make a video on leaning versus sitting in a tree saddle. So I got my Predator platform set up here, got my tether in place. You know, you're going to have to find your own comfort level where you like to have your tether. Some guys like to have it lower, some guys like to have it higher, that sort of thing. The length, and you're just going to have to get in there, feel it out, and feel where you feel most comfortable. For me, it's not an either or, sitting versus leaning. I do both. I have these knee pads on for those times where I want to sit. Excuse me. I like to go back and forth. I mean, even when I'm sitting in a tree stand, I think most of us probably will sit sometimes, will stand sometimes. Sometimes you lean in the tree, against the tree, and you know, you want to, you know, most people kind of move a little bit. You want to try to keep your movement as little as possible, but same thing with saddle hunting. Generally speaking, most of the time I'm leaning, but sometimes, you know, after a while I might want to take some pressure off my legs, you know, so what I'll typically do is I might stand up and just kind of, you know, take some pressure off a little bit, or I'll sit. And I think it's always a little bit better and safer to either sit or lean than to just stand on your platform, because when you stand on your platform and you take the pressure off your system, if God forbid something were to happen to your platform or anything like that and you had a static drop, there's a little bit more potential for something going wrong there with a static drop, and it creates a lot of pressure. So especially for those of you guys that are using a ropeman instead of using a Prusik, there's a potential for problems with your ropeman damaging your tether if there's a static drop and you fall into it, and your system goes from being a fall restraint system, which is what it is, to inadvertently turning into a fall arrest system. So you want to kind of keep some pressure on it all the time if you can. But otherwise, sitting versus leaning, there's no right or wrong way. Both of them, I think most people are going to find they're going to do a little bit of both. I would highly recommend, if you're going to saddle hunt, get yourself a set of knee pads, because they're going to really make things a lot more comfortable for you. You know, like here I'll be up against the tree here, and I could sit like this. I could sit like this all day if I wanted to, you know. But what I'll end up tending to do is, you know, I'll move sometime. The other day I had a tree that I was hunting out of, and it had another leader off to the side, and I was kind of sitting like this and just kind of leaning into it, you know. And I'd go back and forth, you know. Maybe I'd sit one way for a half hour, 45 minutes, then I'd slowly move and maybe stand up and lean a little bit, you know. If I felt like I had to adjust my saddle or whatever, kind of, you know, pull into the tree, make my adjustments or whatever, and then sit back down or whatever you need to do. There's no right or wrong way, but everybody's got to find out what's more comfortable for them. I'm more of a leaner. Scott, he's more of a sitter. He'll climb into a tree, DRT method, tie in a lot higher than I am here. And one of the nice things about that is he'll have more mobility. The longer your tether is and the higher it is up the tree, the more mobility you'll have around the tree. So, like, you know, if I wanted to, you know, come around my tree and shoot over here, the longer that tether is, the more mobility you have. So, you know, that's one of the nice things about climbing either DRT or SRT and having a high tie-in point. But you know, you'll find you get a lot of mobility here with the saddle, more so than with the tree stand, I feel. I got a tree stand set up over here. Just I was going to show how sometimes you can get into your existing tree stands. And now what I've been doing, I have a bunch of tree stands that I've had out for years that I've been hunting out of, and I'll use my saddle in my tree stand. And you know, I'm basically using my tree stands as a platform rather than bringing my Predator platform with me. So I found it's more comfortable to sit in my saddle than to just stay in my stand. So that's just me. I think most people who are getting into saddle hunting, they probably have a ton of tree stands out there. And you're not going to just go and, you know, throw them away. You're still going to utilize them. But, you know, this one spot I was in particular this weekend, my stand is sitting in my tree in such a way where it's very comfortable for the stand with the lean of the tree. But where I expect the deer to come from, it's always right behind me. So I'm always kind of facing the wrong way, and I tend to end up in that tree stand to be standing up, kind of looking in this direction. But now I'm tied off in that very same tree in my tree stand as if I was in that tree stand there. And I'll just sit like this now. Now I'm facing the right way, and I can see them coming. So the saddle kind of opens up a couple doors for things like that. You might be able to utilize it for that as well. So that's about it. You know, sitting versus leaning. There's no right or wrong way. It's just a matter of your comfort. You want to try both, and most people are going to end up doing both. It's starting to rain here, so I better pack it up. So that's it. So climb safe and best of luck, guys.